I'm just, you know, when you say idiotic, stupid dog enough times, you even come to believe it yourself. But I cannot get, me and the man, we were sitting around the big, glorious, I always say band stage, bandstand-esque porch. But that doesn't do it justice. It's a crafted, it's way up. You have to go up a big set of stairs, like they're regal steps. Now this porch, it doesn't have big, thick columns like a plantation manor house. It has thin, and I don't know if it was French, this, that, or the other thing, Renaissance-esque, or whatever they said, what architecture, but this big, giant, expansive porch, if you'll notice, it has lots of little columns, like American porches, and then every so often it has a big, giant concrete pier that goes right down in the ground, farther past the wine cellars and the bourbon cellars into, I'm talking about like 35, 40, 50 yards down. They anchored the whole structure, and the porch is part of that. But I can never come up with the proper names. Sometimes I thought I would call it a veranda, because that would be a little bit more, what they say, you give it a little bit more, whatever you would, it would try to describe it better in your mind. But if you're sitting, we don't do a lot with the porch. You want to keep the porch clean. It's a clean, big, beautiful surface area. Sometimes you use it when there's a lot of guests and it's hot. You overflow onto the porch. You do a lot of out cooking if you have a lot of people. A big, giant porch is when you entertain, 30, 40, 50 people, 60, 70, 80 people, 120 people. Back in the day, the manor house was on the circuit for the wealthy and the celebrities to stop in Western Kentucky. It was one of many, but, not quite a few. There's only like 6 or 7 in the whole part of that state. Manor houses, I shouldn't say that. There's a lot more than that. But every once in a while, the manor house that the man owns, it was never like, the grade A listers were coming. Like presidents weren't coming. Presidents, but, I don't know about vice presidents, but secretaries of state, commerce secretaries, movie stars that were on the way down or on the way up, but were not A-listers. They didn't have Marilyn Monroe, but one time they could have had Norma Jean. They could have. I don't think they did. I think I'll research and find out who the biggest names were, but they had a lot of big-time movie actors in those days. They had the underground celebrities, like the Tom Hankses of the world, or the Frederick Hankses, those guys that were just folksy guys who wrote little clips in the newspapers or got on the radio sometimes. Tom Hank, I don't remember what the guy's name was, but he stayed there. I know that for a fact because I got a plaque of it. There's this celebrity, big celebrity, but he was a folksy, charming celebrity, so he stayed at the manor house. But I'm talking about this kind of a porch was for entertainment. It was to set a tone. When you come up our steps and get on our porch, you're like, holy shit, this porch is bigger than my entire house. That's what manor houses were about. Making a statement before you even get in the main door. You're on the porch. And as a dog, I always struggled mightily to try to come up with what the hell could you call the porch to say, to kind of describe or depict its true, its ambiance, its stateliness, what it conveyed, what this thing meant. So I tried to say veranda. I didn't even know if a veranda was really what you want to say, because veranda sounds like something you built out in the field. It's a veranda. This is attached to the house. This is the entranceway of the house. This is the giant, broad, beautiful floor that you cross before you even get to the door. Okay? It's like a wooden moat. It's like a moat, so to speak. But, portico. That was another word I toyed with. Portico? Portico doesn't work either. Portico sounds like something stupid, It's like a portico, like where you hang up your raincoat, you put your galoshes. It's not like an entrance. It's not like a broad, giant, spacious thing that could entertain, 100 people with no troubles. Whatever. But then I in my research, in my dog research, I found a Spanish word that I think does depict it. You tell me what you think. You could vote on it. You could comment. You could do whatever you want to say. But this big, beautiful, regal porch that is it's the, in and of itself is something you appreciate. When you sit in it, you sit on the back, up against the house. For some reason, we could never afford that much furniture. We got a little furniture. We put right outside the door. You walk right outside the door. You sit there. So it's this giant, expansive wooden, whatever you say, floorboarding that goes off to the steps. and a railing. It's so far away you could play tennis. You could play whatever you want to do. You could play racquetball. You could have a nice little deck hockey game out there on that porch. But the one word I discovered, a Spanish word, was called ramada. Ramada. Not Ramada. Ramada. You know, I was like, Ramada? We got a Ramada. It's not a Ramada because it's not like built with the Spanish architecture and stuff, but it's a Ramada. It's the only word I thought that really encapsulates the true essence of the porch at the manor house. Ramada. I don't know. But we were sitting there trying to enjoy the Ramada, and up comes the producer. We heard his old BMW coming around the corner, gasping, spewing out oil smoke, raspy, whatever you say, the exhaust system. I don't even know what it sounds like. It sounds like a couple of hedgehogs getting a fight over a female hedgehog during mating season. It's a raspy, nasty thing. He slams. He was squealing around the brakes. He can't keep the right amount of air pressure. He's only going like 37 miles an hour, but he's squealing around the corner like he's Starsky and Hush over here, squealing like whatever, a raped ape. And then he squeals to a stop. It's because he's got like 22 pounds per square inch of air pressure in his tires because he's an imbecile. The producer bursts out. He didn't even shut his door. He bursts out. His papers are flying everywhere. All his notes, all his stupid-ass notes he writes to everybody. And he runs up and he crunches down. And I forget. I'll look this up too. What do you call that thing that swings back and forth? It's like a love seat. I don't even know what you say. It's like a couch that's suspended by chains and it swings. It's got an A-frame. It's like a swing set for little kids. The trouble is, it's supposed to be gently swinging back and forth, but the man puts it right up against the house. It's sitting up on the porch, but it's right up against the house, so it can't swing the one way. It can only swing the other way. So it's swing, bump, swing, bump. It's not a gentle swing. So when you get on it, it rocks. It's like a little thing. You rock. You want to get a little movement, a little shimmy. But forget about swing. It's bump. Bump into the house, swing out, bump, and it gets worse and worse. The man, the producer, me and the man were sitting there on that thing, whatever you call it. We'll look it up. We'll figure out what that's called. And the producer plops down. And he says, "This is it. I'm telling you, it's over. Mankind is done." We're like, "Oh, my God, producer, what happened?" It was the man who was trying to score with the writer girl. Did the writer girl do something? Did she say something? And he was shaking his head and lamenting. He was like the thinker sitting on the rock going, "Oh!" He was crying. We're like, "God bless, what happened? What could you believe?" And he said, this is what he said, he goes, "The he, she, them, they asshole from Fox and Friends, whatever his name is, Gutfield, that he, she, them, they character that they peddle out on Fox and Friends to try to contribute or attribute or get everybody involved, all the log cabin Republicans, a few other kind of token people. Steve Gutfield, is that his name? He is a he, she, them, they. You know that much. He's not playing it up too big, but he is a he, she, them, they. And he's crying that there's a fucking mothership out there in our solar system getting ready to put a lot of fucking probes into America, and it's over. We're done. We're done, I tell you. This is it. And we were like, "Hey, take it easy, what's going on here?" And he's like, "Don't you watch Fox and Friends?" And we're like, "God bless. Take it easy. Take it easy. Tone it down." The man, he was like, "God bless, you need a drink of this bourbon over here. What's the problem?" And the producer's like, "They're coming. The Pentagon and NASA, according to Steve Gutterfield off of Fox and Friends, he says that they're coming, aliens in the center." We're like, "Oh my God, we're going to have to get the prevention hotline number out for this guy. He's going to have to go back and sit down in the big giant hallway where we used to order all the gooses and all the crates of vegetables, back by where we keep the phone." Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. But basically, to put an end to the producer's part, because the producer was wrought. He was distraught and wrought. I think wrought might not be the right word, but in my dog thing, this is the best I can come up with. There's nothing you can search in your dog remembrance, but if you search your dog remembrance, you can come up with a few things that led to this, America saying that there's a mothership out there in our solar system that's flying around, getting ready to release all these probes, these kind of like dandelion seeds that float with the gravitational flow or the gravitational wind of the sun towards the earth, and they're going to whatever. They're studying us. All you got to know is that. So anyways, the Congress, they tasked NASA and this one, that one, the other one, to try to figure it out in our year of the Lord, whatever. It was maybe 2020, 2019. Maybe it has something to do with the COVID. Maybe Donald Trump was part of it. We thought it was Putin. Maybe it was, thought it was Putin that got Donald Trump. Maybe it was the aliens. I don't know. If the aliens are trying to take us over, that's it. That was probably what happened. But NASA was tasked by the US of A government and the Pentagon to figure out what the F's going on with all these goofy ass, things. So they come up with this report that said they seen this entity, this object. They were figuring out all the objects that were bigger than 140 meters all around America, which I call it America. I'm a dog. I'm a stupid dog. The man, he says the same way. We think the center of the universe is America. It isn't. It could be. I don't know. But I think it is. But that's just me. I have a problem that way. I think America is the center of the universe. But so I say sometimes when I mean the Earth, I say America. When I say, the most important planet in the solar system, I say America. But I mean the most important planet in the solar system. But anyways, we were tasked. We are going to find out. Probably China already is friends with them. Probably China is already friends with the aliens. Who knows? Because they're always that's a little thing. We're kind of stupid. Americans, we're going to beat you in a fight. But other than that, we're going to lose. We're not valuing the smarts. We're valuing the toughness and the grittiness. You know what I'm saying? But so NASA and the Pentagon and the Army produced a report. Thank God for the Army, everybody. The Army over here. Remember, it's the Army. Everybody says it's this, that, the other thing. It's the Army. They said they discovered out there a blob. And they couldn't see it very clearly, but the telescopes and everything, they could figure out that it was moving away. It was floating with the sun's gravity. All of a sudden, it started going away from the sun, and it did not have a cometary tail or cometary tail. It's a tail that a comet leaves because things are sparkling back behind it, getting drawn off by the gravity. This thing didn't have a cometary tail. It was just moving on its own, and they immediately said it was artificial. That's what they say when they find out it's aliens. It's artificial. And when you hear them say artificial, and that's why the producer was so wrought or distraught. He was like, oh my God, it's over. This system is done. The producer was thinking, whatever. But what they did is they thought they were going to, do something super important or find out there wasn't nothing or we were the center of the universe or whatever. And they found out, oh my God, right there they are. They looked. The first time they looked, shit, it's we say Martians, but it's not Martians, it's extraterrestrial, it's alien life. Probing us, And the first time we looked high, we're like, yeah, there they are. Don't look that way, don't look that way. It's them, it's the aliens. They're there, They tasked NASA and the Pentagon and the Army, and they came back in 52 minutes and said, shit, we looked, and there they were. It's over. And that's what the producer was saying. It's over. It meant something. I think the producer might have been raised Jehovah's Witness, and he got out of it, and he's but he knows all the Jehovah's Witness stuff and believes it in his heart, and he's petrified because Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't like to think it could be a Martian. Like what? Jehovah couldn't make Jehovah made dinosaurs. He made the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the thing with the three horns to fight the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean, come on. He made pterodactyls or something that flying ass dinosaurs, whatever. You don't think Jehovah would make another planet? This is the only planet he'd make? He made pre-monkeys, ass monkeys, stupid monkeys. Then he made man. He made all kinds of different men. The Cro-Magnon, of which Marjorie Taylor Greene, Cro-Magnon man. And then you had the Australopithecus and the pre-man, whatever. Jehovah made all them men, and then he made the man, us, and he probably made a couple planets or whatever. If he's doing all that other crap, he's making sea urchins, right? And crap stuff like millions of years ago, scurrying around the bottom of the ocean floor that then T.S. Eliot could write about at some point before, millions of years before there was even a man to think about it. Think about it. It doesn't matter. But the Jehovah's Witness angle aside, they're afraid. I mean, come on, Jehovah is not discounted because there's aliens. Maybe they believe in Jehovah. They're like, hey, you idiots, you don't even know how to worship properly. It's Jehovah, they're going to say. Or maybe they're Yahweh, something else they'll say. Who knows? But they're like, yeah, we worship the same thing, you idiots. Maybe they won't. But doesn't mean that Jehovah's not real to us and that we don't have Jehovah. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The Pentagon, they had done this study on these freaking UFOs and all this other crap. They renamed it UFO. It's like a new day. It's like get America used to the fact that it ain't UFOs. It's a new day. There's some new crap out there flying around, folks. And when they found the Mothership that released the dandelion seed-esque probes, 3 or 4 years ago, they found a cigar-shaped meteorite shooting towards the Earth faster than the gravity of the sun could propel it or the gravity of the Earth or whatever, and it blasted in the Earth. And they said, that was the probe 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. That was it looked like a turd. I'm worried because I'm saying the Martians designed a probe and encased it in some kind of capsule that looks like a big, long, crappy turd. You could see it on South Park or whatever, a big crappy turd. That's what they made a probe look like? Oh, God, we're in trouble. If they're making turd-esque looking probes, whatever. But the Pentagon, they said that when they discovered this object that moved away against the gravity of the sun without a cometary tail, they immediately named it Oumuamua. Oumuamua. Whatever, I don't even know how to say it right the way. But it means scout. Scout, see what I'm saying? It's a scout, they named it. They give them all these tricky names, these code names mean exactly what it is. That's the funny thing about the Pentagon. They name a code name exactly what it is. It's always Oumuamua is a scout. And I ain't talking about the scout from Kill a Mockingbird. I ain't talking about Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm talking about a scout for some aliens that are floating around out there looking at us like we're a bunch of dumbass water buffalo. Look at these assholes mate. They get up on top of each other and hump each other from behind. Look at them. They're grody. They takes 2 seconds and they're done. Like a lion humping. It's over in 2 seconds. But then like 3 minutes more, he's coming back for more. They're like, these people are so grody. These Americans. And it shouldn't be Americans. They're earthlings. But I think in terms of America, because, I'm an idiotic, stupid dog. I don't know any better, but I'm an American dog, so I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. The producer was shaking his head like he was like, I'm looking at the clothesline like he's getting ready to string himself up. I'm like, you're going to hoist yourself up like the mizzen mail or the mizzen sail? I mean, take it easy. It might be the end. I doubt it. I doubt those idiots at the Pentagon even got it correct. I don't think you got to worry as hard as you've been worried about. And the producer's like, oh, shit, man, this is the end. Once you see them aliens coming, man, it's over. You might as well give up, man. We thought coronavirus was it. No, man, it's like aliens. You got to pull yourself up. Listen, what you got to remember is what was true today was true yesterday. Always remember that. Them aliens must have been here since the 1950s easily. Before that, they'd have been here. These aliens have been coming here probing us for a long time. They ain't done nothing yet. Your lifespan is so short. My lifespan is I'm a dog. I mean, I don't got to worry about it. If aliens start attacking tomorrow, I'm still going to die of natural causes probably. They're not bombing Western Kentucky. They don't have nothing in Western Kentucky worth bombing. There's no nuclear silos or army barracks. It's just like, whatever. It's like a cotton candy-esque situation. It doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about it. That's the thing. Plus, I'm a dog. You tell me I don't even go to heaven. I'm getting ready to die. So you're making me worried about aliens? I'll be the first one out there trading cards with the aliens. I'll be like, you want to see my Hideki Matsukara card? Or maybe you want to see my Ray Lewis card? We'll trade. What do you got? You got a Martian card? What do you got? It looks like a Makupupu? Whatever. Maybe. That might even not be right. It could be, maybe I'll get a Daniel Jones rookie card. And he's like, Daniel Jones rookie card, look at this. I got a fucking Pat Mahomes rookie card. And you're like, oh, shit. You are a Mint 10 Pat Mahomes rookie card. You are an alien. Oh, brother, I don't know. I really don't. But, the producer's going to cry in his milk. The man's going to drink his bourbon. I'm going to go take my snooze. Whatever, the aliens. Maybe they could bust their chops up there flying around, whatever. It's good for them.